A double national header and part one of the story of Eureka, Sun Avalon. Make sure you guys smash the like and crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more content. So we're going to be looking at the top 32 breakdown here out of the UK Nationals. Now, the first thing I'm going to tell you is this is quite an interesting story. Unfortunately, this was the event where, Brandon ended up having the absolute shutout, double gimmick puppet lock that, really rustled all of the jimmies of the players over the course of the weekend here. But, time has definitely had a chance to heal all. But this is also where Plants got their potential almost third top of the weekend. They almost won 3 events back to back to back, which would have put them, as one of the most shocking tops out of the course of the event weekend. But nope, they ended up in second place. A little bit disappointing, but I think that's fine to really consider out here, because still locking down a second place out of a national championship is absolutely amazing to think about. So your top cut here, Tenpai Dragons was actually the most dominating force out of the course of this event, which I'm kind of intrigued about that. But once again, this is where we talk about those big differences across all of the different regions of the world out here. You'll have Tenpai be more dominating in some places. You'll have Snake Eye be dominating in some others. Hell, you'll have some events where you won't even see Snake Eyes make a top cut. It's very interesting. Kind of look at that spread of dominance out here. So yes, 10 Tenpai. We also followed it up with 8 Snake Eyes once again. Very interesting numbers here. Now, we also had 3 Fire Kings. So, technically you had, 11 Snake Eyes variations present in the top cut of this, which is not the worst. Now, something that is kind of interesting to me, we had 3 Voiceless Voice Duelist. Voiceless has definitely not been on the top of my list for success as of late, but this was a very refreshing thing to see. We also had 2 branded. That's right, only 2 managed to make a top 32. That's a horrible conversion rate. But Plants also had an equally horrible conversion rate of only 2 in the top 32, so that's an interesting takeaway. We also had 1 Labyrinth, so good stuff. Trap.deck still doing its thing. 1 Chimera Illusion, good stuff. 1 Kashtira Pile, so even in the depths of this format, Cash is still doing its thing. All right. And we also had Melodious in your top 32 as well. Okay. We did have a Purely that did make top 64, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. But your top 32 for this whole event, I personally find all of this very interesting, especially, when you're looking at the overall, there wasn't the greatest amount of rogue here, but okay, the decks are doing their thing. Let's pass on over to deck list. Our first list we're going to be looking at here is the Plant Good Stuff. Hello, Laurel. So we actually, instead of doing a 2-2 split, which we've seen a lot more in the 60 card builds, we're doing 1 and 3 for the Rosalina split. Okay. That's definitely not on my bingo sheet of things that I necessarily expected to see here, but okay. Outside of that, you do have the triple cross on here so you don't randomly lose. I see they did build in evenlies so that you could have that going second push, in the off chance, you do have it. You have plenty of board breakers in here. So one of the biggest things I think that Plants needed was you have to have those board breakers, because this deck, it can have some of the worst times in the world to do its thing. This card right here is the end-all be-all to some of its boards. So, the fact that we can still make that crazy board if we don't have the cross out, well, you're just picking up your cards and you're absolutely calling it a day. But hey, second place, congratulations. I'm very happy to see this. Next up here, oh, we have the little Snake Eyes pile, and it's playing a single copy of Metaltronus in the deck because it wants to be cute today. It feels like it's going to be completely irrelevant. Okay, I see you. This, okay, sure, a little tag choice. We have the triple cross out. Okay, pretty standard stuff. You have the Fenrir, the Unicorn. For whatever reason, they chose to push us down in the side. I guess, in terms of consistency, this is fine. You have 2 droplets in the main, siding the additional. We have the one Space Rock here, so we can cross it out. That's kind of hilarious, actually. That, you know, you're just playing the one of Nibiru. If it comes up, it comes up. If it doesn't, well, you know, that's fine. You know, it's not like the worst thing in the world. These tech choices in this format are so freaking hilarious. Like, it definitely entertains me. So, alright, what else we got? Oh, hey, we have some Tenpai for you. Ooh, feeling daring today. I see that we're playing a singular copy of Set Rotation. Okay. So, you know, you can go ahead and roll this one out. I see the one of Ray Sloth. That's some pretty straightforward stuff. You do have the 2 Moonlit Chills, 2 Ogres. Alright. We also have the triple copies of our dear friend, the Shifter Wifter. Okay, and then of course Crossout Designators. Yeah, there's nothing. What in the world are you doing here? You know, we talked a lot about this card in the beginning of its life. I thought this was one of the cutest things that you could ever do in this deck. You know, original hype for this card was actually insane. I mean, it's a free draw too. Bitch of Fire. Like, it's pretty cool. So actually to see somebody returning back to playing this, it's kind of cool. Also, you know, they didn't even play anything like really strong. It's just double spheres with the Hida. Not really worried about anything in the cleanup department for this build if need be. Okay. We also have some Voiceless Voice Melodious for you here. Now, the fact that you're able to kind of combine these two little packages together so that you can get to your Megazord, the Apollosa, is actually kind of cool. Don't underestimate actually having this card present for, you know, your end boards so you can kind of do your thing. Gonna be very strong. Hello, Absolute Zero. Yes, the Absolute Zero on end to the old Vortex Dragon. Side decking here, some triple econs, alright, and then of course we have the Slammo Archfiends down here as well. A lot of people, like, this was a cute little tech trend that did show up, but it's just kind of been just that. It's kind of cute, but okay, outside of that, you're still playing Voiceless Voice. Oh wait, we're only playing 2 copies of low. Budgetary options, I guess, but interesting. There's nothing else too crazy to really look at this build, though. Like, the Melodious package, I think, is a cute little tech, but that's just kind of that. Alright, next up here. Ooh, we have Board Breaker Voiceless Voice. Now, this is kind of exciting to see. We stripped out all the hand traps except for the Magna Hut, because I guess, like, just getting the free search on this. Nah, this doesn't even... Do we search? Oh, we do search for Saravis off of this. Oh, well, that's kind of cute. So you've got foregone, you know, basic hand trap stuff out here for you know, things like the Dark Royal No Mores and the droplets, so you can have those board breakers present to do your thing. You have the double tack talents, steal your opponent's stuff, and then of course the Slayer of the Ultimates here, so you can go ahead and start clearing up your opponent's field. And because of the Ultimate Slayer, you know, we are having to play 1 copy of the Kishi Sakil and the Lilla here. Also focusing on double Dynamondo, which is fine. You do see the Aggregator in here as well. Outside of that, it's another Voiceless Voice deck. You still do a lot of the same standard stuff that you did. It is a cute little idea. And of course, ooh, our top 64 purely list. We are on a 2-2 split on the names, and then we're doing 1 of each of the hand traps. I swear if you looked at this list and told me that this was not a meme, okay, sure. You have the Dark Royal No Mores for board breakers, only 1 leap in here, focusing on the triple copies of the Mask. I mean, to be fair, the Black Goat Laugh ensures, you know, you don't lose to some of the more random power cards that can literally crush your day. Of course, we are setting 1 D barrier for the Crossout. A lot of emphasis on the Crossout Designator in this build, just to make sure that, you know, you can get the game going in your favor. Extra deck I think is fine. You do see the downer to level up into the format Zeus, so you can kind of go ahead and clear things up. But outside of that, everything I think is pretty standard here, except for, you know, the 1 of hand traps. But this is the level of creation that you're definitely getting here. And then we have more plant good stuff for you here. I think this is pretty similar, if not really close to the other build that you saw earlier. Still maximizing on this. You have the Thurion package present here. The 1 of Nibiru. You also do see ye old Cactus Bouncer. You know, the 1 Floodgate monster to another. Let me tell you, this card is really cute. Maximum unexpected dies. Hand trap ratio is fine. 1-3 still on this. The 1 of Droll. There's the Nib for the anti-countermeasures. Yeah. it's a normal day in the plan office, honestly. I can't get too excited about this deck. Like, Nib just ruins its day. So what do you guys think about the breakdown for this event? Please leave a comment down below what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back in the day, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.